Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video. This video is going to be entirely on Ghost Recon Breakpoint, not necessarily the fundamental gameplay aspects. However, the fact that the Ubisoft shenanigans are still going on, I was very vocal about what was going on with Assassin's Creed Origins and Assassin's Creed Odyssey. A lot of you guys disagreed with me on that. If you guys are unaware, my problem with Assassin's Creed Odyssey was that if you want to go through the game at a more, rush pace and not do all of the side content, you're pretty much pigeonholed into buying a microtransaction, the double XP boost. If you buy that, then you could just go from main mission to main mission. If you don't, even if you play at the easiest difficulty, you can't naturally go through the game by doing every main mission without doing all of the side content. Some of you guys seem to absolutely hate that I was critical of that. Some of you guys think it's absolutely okay. But if you actually look at it, what Ubisoft did with that game is that they changed the difficulty settings, and if you really want the easy difficulty mode, that is locked behind a paywall, and you gotta get the double XP boost to really get the easy difficulty mode. That is essentially what happened. Yes, you could be like, oh no, there's still an easy mode there, but that easy mode really isn't what an easy mode is supposed to be. An easy mode is to lower the difficulty, so you should be able to go through the game naturally. Nonetheless, let's not get back into that debate. However, Ghost Recon Breakpoint is a huge game, and all of the items in the world have an in-game currency cost, and that currency is freely found in chests and on dead bodies, but that free currency can also be bought with a premium currency, which of course is only purchased with real-world cash. It was noted on Polygon, so I'll just read off there. Effectively, that expanded clip I want for my assault rifle, that could be had for the cash on the barrel head. I'm used to getting such things in Tom Clancy's The Division only via crafting. Some games with a twin currency setup will segregate performance items from cosmetic items, and the premium currency can only buy cosmetics. Buy everything in Breakpoint store accessible from a camp or the hub world has a Skell Credits price and a Ghost Points. Buy Skell Credits, cash buys Ghost Points. So that expanded magazine can be had for 3,000 Skell Credits, and 4,000 of those can be bought for 600 Ghost Points, which costs $4.99. If you guys don't understand what this is getting at, essentially every item in the game you can effectively buy by pouring in real world cash. Guys, we are getting into this point in gaming, and you might argue that, oh, you don't have to go this route, but what you guys aren't understand, because of these microtransactions being introduced in the game, it is fundamentally changing game design. Game developers now go into developing a game and structuring a game with microtransactions in mind. In the past, developers wanted to make the content in the game and the upgrades and the items you get into the game a natural course of you playing the game and you getting the items. However, if they go through that natural course, that necessarily isn't the way to make the most money anymore. How about they make an item a little bit harder to get, so some of you guys are tempted to try microtransactions? Why don't they essentially lock away easy mode so they can get you to buy the double XP boost for $10? You get what's happening. It is just really bad, and it was even worse during the game's pre-release period. A series of time savers that could buy character progression improvements, skill points, crafting materials, and would you look at that, XP boosts were all included in the game. Ubisoft had quite a bit of backlash from that, and then they decided to pull that from Ghost Recon Breakpoint. However, they only said that they're pulling it for the time being, and those were supposed to be in the game for if you were to buy the game later on and you want to catch up to people that have been playing the game for a long time. That to me is still lame, and that to me is just a cover-up. It seemed like they wanted to roll this out with the launch of the game, but the game was just about to drop. Do they need all this controversy to go around with the game on the launch day? And by the way, the controversy is still absolutely there. The game isn't being received all too well. But even if Ubisoft took down the premium time saver boost for character progression, it still appears to be positioning the Ghost Points to Skell Credits exchange, a convenience for those too busy to stalk the game's world for gear. The menu carefully highlights that Ghost Points can buy cosmetic items, but the fact remains that Ghost Points can also be exchanged for Skell Credits, which means anything in the game can be purchased with premium currency. You can throw the argument, oh, you could just naturally play the game, but again, what I'm getting at is if we continue to let stuff like this slide in games, it just opens the door for them to get even more crafty with game development and game design, and it'll fundamentally alter how games are made, at least from a Ubisoft standpoint, and from all of the developers that want to employ all of these microtransactions. They're going to be thinking in the back of their head, necessarily not each individual developer. This is something that starts from the head up, and they want to make the most money. You can make the argument that a lot of the developers are just doing the grunt work and they're trying to make the best game possible, but they also have to develop this game with the parameter in mind that this game has to generate the most amount of revenue possible. And how do you generate more revenue? You get players to buy these microtransactions and whatever the case may be on that. It's just unfortunate that this is where gaming is going, and a lot of you guys defended Assassin's Creed Origins and Odyssey, and when I was playing those games, I was like, man, these are really well-made games if you actually judge them from the content that's in the game. Visually, those games are so well-made, but it's bogged down by these microtransactions. It's bogged down by this idea of we have to get more money from the gamers, because I guarantee you that there were a lot of people that bought the double XP boost. I personally didn't, because I saw that and I was like, damn, I want to play through this game. I don't want to invest, 50 to 70 hours in the game because I just don't have that kind of time to pour into one game. But I couldn't be the guy that actually supported a double XP boost in a game, because that's just going to normalize it in every other game. However, in the case from a Ubisoft standpoint, it looks like it's gotten to the point where they've generated a lot of money off these microtransactions. People buy these double XP boosts. People want to get these in-game weapons quicker, and people are investing more and more money, and that is the problem. However, at this point, it does seem like they're trying to push the envelope a little bit too far. What we've noticed is these developers and publishers try more and more to get away with more and more, but at some point, gamers are going to give a little bit of backlash. Gamers are going to be pissed, and that's what's happened with Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Breakpoint. The game itself, I played the beta. I haven't played the full game, but the beta did absolutely nothing for me. I didn't enjoy it at all. I was like, okay, it's an okay made game, but there was nothing that really hooked me. There was nothing that engrossed me into the experience, and I don't know, maybe I'm alone on that, but based on the user reception, everything that people are saying on social media, it seems like the final game has left a lot to be desired from people as well. Whatever the case may be, I'm sure that at some point Ubisoft is going to look at this and be like, okay, we have to tailor this back a little bit, because every game that comes out, it's going to come out with a decent bit of negativity and controversy if they continue to employ microtransactions like this. It seems like a lot of you guys are starting to catch up to it, and some people are dumb enough to think that, oh my god, Ubisoft pulled away all of these microtransactions, they care so much about the gamer. No, that's absolutely not what's happening. What's actually happening is Ubisoft continues to push the envelope, and I shouldn't exclusively limit it to Ubisoft. There's been so many other publishers, but what they try to do is they try to push the envelope more and more. They try to see how much they can get away with, and then when they push the envelope too far, they're like, okay, we heard you guys, we're gonna dial it back a little bit, and then they dial it back, and then they're gonna try to push the envelope again. Do not get it twisted. Look at what happened with Star Wars Battlefront 2. They tried to push the envelope too far, and they completely obliterated that game. Now they're doing things right with Battlefield 5, even though they butchered the marketing of that game. But you guys get the idea. It's just a sad state of affairs of where we're at with some game developers and some game publishers. I really should eliminate the developers altogether, because usually this is from a publisher standpoint, unless it's a self-developed game and a self-published game. Usually this is something from Ubisoft, something from the higher-ups, where they're like, okay, this is the way we generate the most amount of money possible. But from a long-term standpoint, this is gonna have long-term ramifications for game design as a whole. Unless people start giving some backlash, people start talking against it, which at this point, for a long time, people really weren't that up in arms about it, but with Ghost Recon Breakpoint, they really are up in arms about it. I don't know why people weren't that pissed off with Assassin's Creed Odyssey. It did seem like there were a couple of people upset about what that game did, myself included. Again, I concede the fact that that game was really well made, but all of those microtransactions in the game were really whack. But now it seems like one point is building upon another, and hopefully at some point, people realize that this is going to have real long-term ramifications and real long-term harm to game design as a whole. I'm really scared for 5 years from now, 10 years from now, what are games going to look like? Are games just going to employ more and more microtransactions and just continue to get away with it? Look, they're going to push it a little bit, get away with it. Push it a little bit more, maybe get away with it again. Push it a little bit more, get away with it. How far can it go? And again, you can dial it back a little bit, but you are kidding yourself if Ubisoft is not going to try to push it again. Let's see how much we could get away with it. And at some point, something has to break. Either the publishers are going to realize, okay, we can't do this much shit, or the gamers are just going to be like, okay, I'm not going to buy the game, which is what happened with Star Wars Battlefront 2, and that EA damage has really persisted for so long. That's why games like Battlefield 5, Anthem have done so poorly, because EA has cultivated this stench on them that even if they're not necessarily doing the horrible business practices that they were a little while ago, that stench is retained on them. Ubisoft isn't necessarily at that point, but if they continue to do stuff like this, I feel like at some point they are going to get to that level. So let me know all of your guys' thoughts in the comment section down below. Maybe I'm being a little bit too critical about it. Maybe a lot of you guys are enjoying Ghost Recon Breakpoint, but I feel like I'm really on the money with this one. And unless we do something, unless we say something soon, it's really going to affect the long-term ramifications in terms of game development and game design. So let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. As always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.